AM 630. WMAL.
Good morning, everybody. It's Bryan and Bryan on this Monday morning as we get the week started. We have on the line Chris McMurray. Now, Chris owns a bakery down in Radford, Virginia called Crumb and Get It. If you want to go to the website, it's crumbandgetit.com. You can look at what he does there. But he was down there last week, and well, I'll just let him tell the story. Chris, how are you?
Good morning, guys. Good to be with you today.
So you're in your little bakery there and just taking care of your business last week, and out of the blue, some people walk in and start asking you if the vice president could drop by and visit for a while. Tell me the story.
Yes, sir, that's correct. I was there early on Wednesday morning, and right as I opened the door at about 10 a.m., we don't open till 10, a young lady came in from the, I didn't know it at the time, but from the advance team for the vice president, and said he was on his way into town, and of course most people knew that he was coming to Virginia Tech. I didn't personally know that he was making a stop in Radford. I'm not sure if anyone else really did either locally, but asked if that would be okay if they would come into the store and take some photos and bring the press and all kinds of stuff, and I just thought about it for a few moments and respectfully declined. And I was sure to tell her that I didn't mean any disrespect to the campaign or the vice president, but we just had some political differences.
And so the reason that you decided it had to do with the fact that you disagree with the president and the vice president about what?
Well, a couple of things. One is a conviction of my faith in God, and I believe the administration stands for several things that contradict my faith. Secondly, running and playing in my mind was the comment that Obama made in Roanoke in July, speaking about small business, or speaking about business in general, actually, when he said, you didn't build that. You didn't build that. Someone else built that for you. And that's just a statement that rubs me very much the wrong way, especially we're working 16, 18-hour days regularly. Just like I explained on the news story, my wife had been up a full 24 hours working on a big order we were doing for a wedding, and you know, the statement that he made there in Roanoke was one that just rubbed me the wrong way.
Did you ever think of allowing the vice president to come in and then perhaps telling him how you feel, especially about that comment that the president made in Roanoke?
Well, quite honestly, I didn't think I would get an opportunity to really address him in that way. You know, I thought that you know, there would be a lot of hoopla, a lot of press, and it would be a meet and greet, a shaking hands, and a photo opportunity for him. And I didn't think that I would get the time with him.
All right, so what was her reaction?
Well, she paused for a minute, visibly, you know, perplexed a little bit, but she was very polite. The interaction was very calm, and she, you know, received what I said, and she did tell me, you know, there would be quite a bit of press, and you know, this would be essentially good for your business and that kind of thing. And I said, well, I just kind of have to stand by, declining having them come in the store today.
All right, so now there's another shoe to drop on this story, is that apparently we read that the Secret Service came back later, bought a bunch of cupcakes or a bunch of bakery goods, and thanked you for standing your ground. Is that right?
Well, yes, that's a true story. They did not necessarily thank me. The statement that the gentleman made, who was the lead security detail, said, that's awesome. And he didn't give any political inclination, and they shouldn't take any heed. These are guys that are off-duty, 10, 12 guys off-duty. They were going to eat, and they just swung in and got some product from me, and they indicated that they had gotten the signal over the radio that there was a change of plans. So, you know, they were great guys.
But they knew that you had turned down the vice president, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. He asked me if I was the owner, and he said, well, then I'm assuming you're the one that turned down the vice president.
But the reporting that got done on this early said that they thanked you for standing your ground. We want to get an accurate portrayal of exactly what happened here.
Sure, and that's, they didn't say thank you. What he said was, that's awesome.
Okay.
Not giving any political inclination one way or the other.
But they were pleased.
Right.
Okay.
You know, but you know, also these guys are getting off duty, and here's the other thing about it. You know, who knows? They could have been sent in to kind of save face with me, or whatever, to kind of calm the tension maybe or something. We don't really know their purpose there, and they were off duty. So
we're talking with Chris McMurray, who is the owner of Crumb and Get It bakery in Radford, Virginia, is the one that refused the vice president. You didn't actually refuse him to coming in. You just didn't want the photo op, right? Is that how?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I just want to get that straight. Now, how did the story get out? I mean, did you call the local TV station to say, hey, the vice president came by and they wanted to have a photo op, and I said no? I mean, how did this story get out?
Well, actually, there is another small business down the street that alerted the local news media outlet. I did not personally do that. In fact, I didn't have any aspiration of really contacting the media. And, of course, I never dreamed that it would become what it has become. But another small business owner down the street notified the local news authority, and he came out and talked with me.
All right, so you said you could never imagine that it would become what it has become. What has it become?
Well, of course, the store, the bakery, has been inundated with phone calls and letters. The vast majority of kind words and support that we've received, and of course, I've heard that it's in a lot of national news media outlets and things. I personally haven't had time to really go through and look and see the different places it is, but people are coming in the store and telling me, and the store has exploded locally. People driving from literally all over the eastern portion of the country, stopping in if they're on their way to D.C. or on their way to Florida or something, stopping in the store. And so we've just been inundated, and people know about it. So I didn't anticipate that, my decision in that moment would become kind of this national news story.
Has anybody have you seen the reverse where people say, "Hey, I'll never go to Crumb and Get It again," or you've heard some backlash from people because they're more sympathetic with the president?
Of course, we have a few that have well, actually one that's come in the store, and that happens to be the person that the local news ran, was the one guy who came in and kind of told us that he wouldn't be in anymore. And of course, again, it was very polite, and he just walked out. But a few emails and a few letters, but by and large, the support and the kind words and has far outweighed the negative.
All right, so if I were to come down to Crumb and Get It, what would be the best thing that you make?
My wife makes awesome chocolate chip peanut butter cupcakes. And they're generally the first to run out, and we, of course, have run out of product now 3 days running. We had a team there yesterday trying to prep for this week, and we've got a lot of great stuff now, but we'll see if we can make it till 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, Chris McMurray of the Crumb and Get It Bakery in Radford, Virginia, thank you for joining us here on WMAL.
Bryan and Bryan, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time today.
No, thank you.